I am sick of a biased opinion. I'm done. I'm just done putting up with these problems. 90% of your Luigi's Mansion 3 videos have just been that. You have absolutely no right to say that when you made so many negative videos online. You do not get the right to say that. Just why? Just why?
Then this game, Splatoon, has a lot of problems. The map rotation sucks. Having Salmon Run open at certain times only sucks.
That is the absolute most frustrating thing ever. Well, I was wrong. Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying that and myself. But yeah, I was wrong about everything I said in the description. Sorry about that. An actual serious note, let's finally do this. Once again, I'm talking about the one and only ZakPak. Now, some things to keep in mind before going into this is that, number one, this is not intended to be hateful. I want to make this clear because I know some people are going to see this and they're going to just be like, oh, you're just a meathead, you're just a big heel ZakPak, ooh. When I'm not. I supported him before, not necessarily now, and you'll know why later we go into this video. But again, I'm not doing this to be hateful, so keep that in mind. And also, number two, please do not go attack him at all. I don't want to hear anything about my fans going to his channel and witch hunting it, so please do not. Just leave him alone. Don't attack him or anything like that, despite what I will say later in this video. But with all of that said, are you ready, kids? No? Too bad, because you're listening to this anyways. Let's begin the ZakPak Rant. Although I was being jokey at the beginning of the video, with all seriousness, there are some things that I did screw up on my own videos that I made, so let's talk about those. Now, the first thing I should bring up is the negativity section. Honestly, I wasn't specific enough, and the message, while it did get through a little bit, I don't think it got through very effectively, so yeah. What I was trying to say for that section was the simple fact that you're fine having your own opinion, but please do not shove it down our throats. That was the main thing I was trying to communicate through that, but I didn't really communicate very well, and I do somewhat apologize for that. And another thing that's persistent throughout the entire video, I was way too over the top, especially in the I like the game section. It just didn't come off very well and didn't seem very effective upon rewatching it. While I can understand what I was doing, I also think it wasn't a very good idea. So, yeah, I do apologize for that. But that's pretty much all I have to say on my own videos. Yeah, this is the part where I stop apologizing and get into the actual rant part of this video. So, let's transition to the Twitter argument. Honestly, I really don't have much to say on this that I haven't already said, but there is one thing that I did not do in my Aftermath video: show pictures. So that's what you're going to be seeing on screen now. If you want to read the whole thing, pause the video to read the entire thing, but basically, in a short format, basically, Zak decided to try and defend himself and explain to the best of his ability as to why I'm just so wrong and evil for wanting him to improve his videos. How evil of me, right? He didn't really do a good job of it, as you can clearly tell, and kind of just didn't want to deal with it, which, well, I could somewhat understand. He could have taken it in a much better way. But, yeah. Honestly, I really don't have much else to add to this that I already haven't said, so I'm just gonna end it there. So, thankfully, that should be pretty much everything. Okay, fine. I'll stop overlooking it. Let's address the elephant in the room. So if you guys were wondering, yep, this was the reason I made the video. This was the reason. This thing that happened. So eventually Zach made a very long video talking about why my videos were wrong. Basically trying to debunk them. And just so you know, you really have to stretch the meaning of the word debunk, because while he tries to do it, he ultimately fails. It ultimately was probably one of the dumbest things he could have done. Seriously, why did he think this was a good idea? Seriously, I've got this entire list of things that I have wrong with this video. Seriously, an entire list. So let's not screw around. First of all, he constantly refers to me saying how I'm done with this content and acts as if that's the entirety of the video, when it really isn't. I understand that at the beginning of the video, I said that I was done with this content, but at the same time, that isn't the entire video. You shouldn't be taking one small thing and making it the entirety of a 40-minute video. Seriously, you just keep exaggerating it to Kingdom Come. Why do you do this? I don't know. Maybe because you're too dumb to actually watch the entire video and get the actual message? Well, yes, again, I did open up with this. That doesn't make the entire video this exact same message. Maybe don't judge a book by its cover next time. How about that? Also, when he talks about his Luigi's Mansion 3 videos and he pulls up his playlist isn't accurate. Yeah, if you actually pay attention to the videos that are in that playlist and the videos that he's made on his channel, it actually is missing quite a decent amount of the bad videos. Specifically, the Luigi's Mansion Should Be Spooky video. So, an inaccurate playlist. I mean, honestly, that right there alone basically sums up the whole video. This is poorly done, barely good information, and everything is taken out of context. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll get to that later. He also thinks that I said for him to stop making Battle for Bikini Bottom videos to improve, when I really didn't say that. When I was talking about the Battle for Bikini Bottom videos, I wanted you to slow down on them. I didn't want you to stop making them. I wanted you to slow down on them, because not only, let me just make this scenario. If you made one Battle for Bikini Bottom video per week leading up to its release, not only would it give you more time to focus on making that video as good as possible, but it would also give your fans something to get hyped about. It would be hyped, and it would actually be a really good idea, because think about it. If your reason for milking these Battle for Bikini Bottom videos was because you were excited for the game, wouldn't you want to put more time into making sure that the videos you have are of the absolute best quality? I mean, that's at least what I think, but apparently ZakPak doesn't think the same, and he just continued to milk them, and that sure worked out real well. There was absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. Wait, seriously, I don't get it. Why did you seriously do this? But I don't know, that was his choice. Just like some of the other choices that he's made. Specifically, another one being the fact that apparently he thinks that my videos are bad, when I don't. I don't think his videos are bad at all, but for some reason he decided to think that. Though to be fair, taking a lot of stuff out of context, he really doesn't know much at all about the video. I mean, honestly, he didn't really take the video's actual criticism. Let's be serious here. He didn't learn anything from that video. He just took it as an attack. That's all he took it as. When I specifically said at the beginning of that video that it was not intended to be hateful, yet he took it that way. Why? I don't know. Maybe because he was trying to paint me in a bad light for his fan base. Alright, let's get to that. So, let's talk about Zach's fan base. Now, according to him, he thinks that he is not an authority figure, and that he is not this person of authority or power at all on YouTube. Really? Well, let's take a look at how your fans respond to this, Zach. Let's see some of the comments on your video. Zach, this is your fan base. Whether you want to admit it or not, these are the people that follow you. So, yeah, take that how you will. But yeah, there's no denying the fact that his fan base is full of a bunch of kids. But what's even worse about this is that going back to manipulation part, Zach manipulated what he did. You see, he did not watch the entirety of the video that I made on him. He only watched like the first 3 sections, but he completely skipped over some of the other sections, which, while they are pretty similar, I'm pretty sure that some of the sections could have actually shown quite a bunch, especially the conclusion where I actually congratulate him on holding the charity streams, but yet he never watched that. Thus taking stuff out of context to make me look like the bad person and for him to look like he's the victim, which that's just really great. And of course, given the fact that Zach's fan base is full of kids, of course they're gonna believe it, even despite the fact that he was manipulative with what he was doing. Now, whether or not he did this on purpose, I don't fully know. I'll get to that later. But even so, he still did this, and it's really annoying. Seriously. Why did you do this? Why did you even make this video at all if you're not even going to react to the whole thing? What was even the point of any of this, if you're not going to react to the whole thing? I don't get it. I don't know. And for some reason, he continuously talks about how he shouldn't expect him to watch the video. I don't know. You watched the first 2 videos, and you're pretty understanding with those videos. And Tips for ZakPak 3, while I will admit that the video was very long, seriously, you could have watched the video in chunks, or you could have at least taken something away from the video, such as the variety. But no, instead you decided to be a big baby about it and whine about your critics. I don't know why. Seriously, why is it that I complain when no one else does? Seriously, and he continuously says this as well. Why is it that everyone else is fine with my stuff, but I disagree? Well, here's the thing, Zach. I'm one of the only people who wants to help you. I was doing this because I wanted your content to be the best it could be. Because other people that this may have had happen to, that may have thought that your content wasn't getting so good, they're not going to probably comment or anything like that. They'll probably just go and leave. I didn't want to leave because I wanted you to be the best you could be. I wanted your content to improve. I wanted you to improve. No one else cares about you improving. All they want are their Battle for Bikini Bottom videos or whatever videos they want. They don't actually want you to get better. They just want what they want because they're kids. Which, while I will admit is dumb, it is somewhat endearing, given the fact that he does at the very least care about his fans. However, that still doesn't mean that he shouldn't be listening to criticism, because he sure as hell should be listening to criticism. Oh boy. Now I'm already tired, and I'm not even done with any of this. Seriously. And then he goes on about all this other stuff, like when I talk in my Aftermath video about how it was a pain in the butt to edit and render the video. For some reason, he took it as me saying that he doesn't know what it's like to edit videos when I never said that and never even tried to act that way. I don't even remember trying to get that idea across when I was making the video. What I was trying to say was that the video was hell to edit, which is why I wish you could have watched the video. Seriously, I wasn't trying to say that you don't know what it's like to edit, because I know you know what it's like to edit. Seriously, you're just putting words in my mouth. But we shouldn't be surprised at that at this point, because then again, it's Zach, so we should expect this stuff. Jesus. And apparently, for some reason, he also thinks that reviewing games is based specifically off of earlier entries in that series. Yeah, not necessarily what the game does on its own, but typically, how is it compared to the other games in the series? Seriously, apparently reviewing Luigi's Mansion 3 means you have to look at it based on the rest of the series rather than looking at what it is on its own. Well, yes, I understand that you do want to look at the previous games to compare. That shouldn't be your sole way of reviewing a game. You should be reviewing a game based on what it is on its own. And what it is on its own is an amazing, gorgeous, beautiful masterpiece of a game. Now, while yes, you can have your opinion, you should probably be doing a better job reviewing your stuff, or maybe get a better mindset, because that'd be a good idea. Seriously. Not only that, he also talks about how I was manipulating people, because if you guys saw my original tips video that I made, the original one, I had an entire section of the video where I had other people talking, and I had a couple of tweets on screen of people giving their thoughts on some of the stuff that Zach's been doing. And Zach basically talked about how I was manipulating them because of the fact that I was not giving them the full picture. Which is true. I was not giving them the full picture of the situation. However, Zach can't do this when he did this himself. Well, yes, that doesn't make me right per se. He sure as hell cannot speak for me like that when he made that manipulation towards his own fan base. Also, while yes, I did manipulate the people on Twitter, I didn't really manipulate them because I wanted them to turn against Zach. I didn't even mention Zach in any of the tweets. All I wanted to do was get their input on stuff because I didn't want to drag people that were unrelated into this drama, if you can call it that. I just wanted to get their input on stuff. I wasn't being manipulative on purpose to try and make Zach look bad. I was trying to not get them involved in stuff. Whereas Zach, he manipulated his fan base for some reason, and ultimately it led them to witch hunt me. So, yeah, this is an example of false equivalence. Seriously. And for some reason he doesn't know what the word selfish means, and I'll give you the definition right now. Of a person, action, or motive, lacking consideration for others, concerned chiefly with one's own personal profit or pleasure. That sure sounds a lot like the stuff that you were saying how I was only making the tips videos for my own needs and wants. That seems pretty selfish, isn't it? Looks like, well, someone needs a dictionary apparently. So, yeah. I don't get it. And also, he mentions how I shouldn't know how much free time he has, because apparently I don't know how much free time he has. Apparently, I don't know. Maybe I was asking too much for him to watch a 46-minute video. Listen, I get the video is long, but you had at least a good amount of time to at least watch a part of it. You want to know why I know you had that free time? Because you were able to make an hour-and-a-half video on me. So if you were able to do that, you definitely had free time, especially since the hour-and-a-half video you made was a complete waste of mine and many others' time. You clearly have plenty of time to spend if that's what you're spending your time on, making these awful videos, trying to debunk me for all these reasons when you don't even provide good evidence and you can't even have good solid proof, especially when you're manipulative and take stuff out of context. Seriously, I don't understand it. And the last thing I'll talk about is, of course, the video I made on this Aftermath, which was the main reason he supposedly made the video, because apparently he was afraid about the argument that we had on Twitter going public. Now, three things to say to this. Number one, maybe you should have thought through your responses a little more before sending them out. Maybe you should have thought a little bit more and been a little bit smarter or more wise with what you were saying, instead of just saying don't like, don't watch. Number two, this was already public, so number three, why are you even afraid about this? Because here's the thing, if Zach truly was right in the argument, which he wasn't, if he was right in the argument, wouldn't that just make me look like the idiot? So why was he at all concerned about this going public when it already was public? To me, I see this as wanting to backtrack and backpedal out of the situation, but you can't because I made a video on it. And you certainly can't now that I've got pictures. And I'm not the only one that thinks this too.
I want to really focus on something that he said in the video, and that was just the whole, why did you make the thing public? You know, it was public to begin with, dude. ZakPak, it was public to fucking begin with. Okay? There was nothing private about the conversation that you had with NCS. So, that argument kind of just falls flat. On top of that, ZakPak, during the entire video, well, not even during the entire video, but at the beginning of the video, he said, don't send any hate to NCS07. Guess what happened? Everybody in ZakPak's fanbase sent hate to NCS07. Honestly, I feel like ZakPak just made this video just so that he could feel like he was right. Which is honestly kind of egocentric. It's honestly kind of egotistical. And honestly, I feel like the whole purpose of the video that he made in the first place was also not even just so he could feel right, but also so he could use his fanbase as a weapon. Because remember, ZakPak clearly has a kid fanbase. Like, you know that you have a kid fanbase when you're making videos about stuff like fucking SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom at that. And also Nintendo and other stuff like that. Like, you just know, okay? It's just like Super Mario Logo with the Nintendo thing. You know that your audience is kids. And kids don't exactly listen to, don't send hate to this person. The only real way for them to not send hate to this person is for you to just not make the video in the first place. Especially the video where most of the points fall flat on their face. But with him having a kid fanbase, the kid fanbase will not really realize that the points fall flat on their face. They'll just worship him like a goddess because they don't know any better.
Seriously. Honestly, if you want all my complete thoughts on what I thought about his video, it might have been one of the worst things I've ever seen. I will definitely say it was a big waste of my time. And Zach, it was a really stupid move of you. And what a good move. What a good move manipulating your fan base. I don't care if you told them to not harass me. You know your fan base is full of kids. You took stuff out of context. What the hell did you think was gonna happen? But that's pretty much all I have to say on that video. So, moving on. I wasn't entirely sure of how I wanted to conclude this video, especially given that I wanted to make sure that I kind of tied up all loose ends of this whole situation. So, what I've decided to do is propose this question. Is ZakPak malicious or ignorant? And what I mean by this is the actions that he made regarding his video and his response to all this stuff and what he's done, has it been for his own malevolent intent, or is it just because he doesn't know any better? Now, obviously, this is not a black and white question. Obviously, there's gray in there because it's not 100% ignorance and not 100% malice. At least I don't think. And obviously, I don't fully know the answer, but I will give you guys my best assumption based on what I've seen. Just keep in mind that I cannot examine people's hearts, but I personally think that Zach is just dumb. That's all I really think. I think ZakPak was just stupid when making this stuff. I don't think he really knew what he was doing because, despite what I've said, I just don't think there's enough malice in there to make it seem like he was doing this on purpose. Maybe a little bit with taking stuff out of context, but honestly, I don't think he necessarily took stuff out of context just to make me look bad on purpose. I'm certain he probably did it just because he simply didn't know. He didn't really know how bad it really would look towards both of us. I don't know. And while I do think that there is possibly some malice in there, honestly, I think Zach is just dumb. Now, that does not excuse what he has done. Seriously, not only did he not listen to my original video, but he then decided to make an entire argument on Twitter, which, great idea, totally didn't win that, and also made a really long video that basically didn't do anything but waste all of our time. And just ultimately made me look like the bad person when I really wasn't, because I don't know if you know this, Zach. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. All I wanted for you was to improve your videos. All I wanted for you to do was to make better videos. That's all I wanted. I wanted you to make good videos, but apparently I'm asking for too much, which is just sad for me to say, unfortunately. But this was your choice, and now you have to deal with the consequences. So, Zach, as a final word, great job. Great job. You could have simply just listened to some of my stuff, and who knows, maybe I would have actually came back to your channel. But the way it's turned out, no, I don't intend to ever go back, and I don't intend to ever make another one of these videos. Zach, you are a fool. But I think I've said what I need to say. Thank you all for watching, and take care.